Okay, Geoff Epstein, 8 Stalker Lane. I have some experience with cuts. I've served 10 years on school committees, 6 in Newton and 4 here. And I started on the Newton School Committee in 2008. So I know about cuts, and I know how they're done, and I know the kind of conversation you have to achieve that. And I didn't see that conversation occurring just now between Mike Cannon and the superintendent. I don't think anyone deserves to be called a coward in a meeting, and I think that we've got to get past that.
Point of order. Mr. Cannon did not call anybody a coward or any name. Well, it was a characterization of an answer, and that's
cowardly.
an opinion.
Play the tape back.
Okay. Well,
Play
whatever.
the tape back. That's
Can
a good
I move
idea.
on? Can I move on?
Yes.
I think that's the kind of conversation we don't want to have. So I'd like to stick to the facts here, and certainly there have been some halcyon days in Framingham. And I'm sure when people are going into college now or are graduating now, it's the 12th grade is where they are. But they started out in kindergarten. And so the question that should be asked is not how great we were with the people who are graduating now and how they got into Harvard or something, but ask the school committee where 3rd grade reading proficiency is heading. Because over the last 4 years, it's been heading down. And what you do is you learn to read, and the idea is to get people to read by 3rd grade, and then after that, you read to learn. So you got to look where the problem is. It's not in the high school or the middle school, it's in the early years. Ask the school committee and the superintendent where 3rd grade reading proficiency is. That's very important. The other thing is consolidations. So you take 2 departments, 2 directors, you merge them and you save 1 director position, which is $100,000. We have $10 million problems. So consolidations is never going to solve anything. The other thing is when you're looking at positions and say 80 positions, how many people actually got pink slipped there? And you feel good if it was just 20. But the fact is you lost 80 positions. So you should think about students. If you're thinking about teachers and living people teaching, yes, you should worry who's going to get cut. But the fact is whether the vacancy was done by cutting a person or whether it simply wasn't filled, that student doesn't have the support in the classroom. So 80 positions means classroom support is declining. The final point, we have a $10 million free cash problem. We have a recurring income problem here. And it's no surprise because for 4 years when I started on the school committee, we had 0% tax increase for 4 years. We lost $40 million in city revenue, okay? We can fix our recurring revenue problem right now 2 ways, it seems to me. 10 million, 2.3 is 1% on the tax rate. There's a 4% tax increase has to happen somewhere to wipe that out. But the other thing is the pension liability, which people don't seem to want to hear about, but dozens and dozens of communities do it. And if you move out the pension liability payoff date from 2030 to 2040, which you can do, you'll release about $20 million a year in recurring income. So you should think of tapping into that. So we don't want big tax increases, but think of something that would be a combination of both. That's all I have to say.